Welcome to the 10th video in this series of our lab GIS project. In the previous video, we created shapefiles, which include point, line, and polygon shapefiles. In this video, we are going to learn how to digitize our raster data using the shapefiles we created in the previous video. So now let's launch our project, Nasara project, from the GIS project folder. Now, after launching this project, we are going to digitize the raster data in this video. And if you are not forgetting, this is the only raster data we have in this project. All these are shapefile layers, otherwise known as vector layers. So before we start digitizing this our raster data, let me first of all explain the concept of digitizing and the theoretical knowledge behind digitizing. Digitizing could be defined as the process of converting an analog information into a digital information. So if you convert anything analog into digital, what you are doing is known as digitizing. So in GIS, when you convert a raster data into a vector data, you are doing what is known as digitizing technically. That is why some authors call digitizing vectorizing. Some authors refer to digitizing as vectorizing. This is because you are using the vector layer to represent the raster layer. So what you are doing is vectorizing. So we are going to use these vector layers. These are our shapefiles to digitize the features of interest on our raster. For example, we have buildings. This building layer will be used to digitize all the building structure within our raster. And also we are going to use the stream, the street, and whatever trees to digitize all the features of interest on our raster data. So in essence, what we are doing is we are vectorizing the raster data. I wanted to mention in the previous video that you can actually create your shapefile layers at any point in time. At any time you want to create your shapefile layer, you can create. So maybe as we go on, we'll be forced to create other shapefile layers for other features, such as the river and then the stream. As I can see the stream here, and I can see the river, and we don't have any vector layer or shapefile layer for the streams and for the river. So now, but before then, let's start by digitizing polygon features using our polygon layer, which is the building layer. So we are going to digitize some of these few buildings. So the very first thing you do is to zoom in closely to the features of interest you want to digitize, just like this. After zooming in, then you select the layer you want to use. When you select the layer you want to use, you will now locate your layer menu and then locate toggle editing within the layer menu. Or you can simply see the toggle editing button on your toolbar, just like this. So make sure the layer is selected and then go and select toggle editing. So after selecting toggle editing, you will note that a pencil-like icon will now appear on top of your layer. This time around on the building layer you want to use to digitize. So, and if you look at the toggle edit button is active, and all the other buttons beside it are also active. So now, for you to start digitizing, you will now go to edit menu and then click on add feature. From edit menu, you select add feature, or you can simply click on the add feature button on your toolbar here. So menu, add feature. After selecting add feature, note that the crosshair, your pointer has changed. So now you can now click around your feature of interest, your buildings. When you get to the last point, you now right click, and then you'll be prompted with a dialog box where you are going to input the attribute data for the building you are digitizing. So if you have not forgotten, in the previous video, we created these attribute fields, which include the ID, the building name, the building size, and then the what? The building purpose. So assuming you have the information, all you need to do is to type in the information for your attributes. The building name, if you know the owner, if you know the name of the owner, assuming the name of the owner is Mr. Samsung, you type it just like that. Then the building size, assuming you know the building size, you also enter the building size, either in terms of the area or in terms of the capacity and whatever. So let's assume it's in terms of capacity. It's 3-bedroom flat. So we write 3 for 3-bedroom. And then for the building purpose, type something like residential. That's the purpose of the building. So if at be you have more attributes for this layer when you are creating the shapefile, you will see them here, and then you enter the details accordingly. After which you now click on OK, and then you are done with digitizing this particular building. So for the next building too, the same thing. You click around it just like this. When you get to the end, to the last corner, you right click, and then you will be prompted with this attribute dialog box. So that is one fantastic feature in Phantom GIS. When you are digitizing, you can automatically add attributes to your digitized feature, just like the way I'm doing now. So the building name, let's say it belongs to Madam Tanko. So you type the name just like that. Then the building size, let's assume is a 20-room building, and then the purpose of the building is commercial. So you type the purpose just like that. Then you click on OK. So we have successfully digitized 2 buildings. So for the next building, you repeat the same thing. Click around the building. When you get to the last point, you right click, not left click, to terminate the digitizing process, and then enter in the attributes. So if you don't have the attribute, you can actually click on OK to leave the fields, attribute fields blank for now, and then later on you can add up the attributes. So if you don't have the attributes at hand, you can digitize and then click on OK to leave the attribute fields blank. So remember, you click around the polygon feature. When you get to the last point, you now right click, then click on OK. So this is how you do until you digitize all the features of interest. This time around, we are digitizing polygon features, which actually represent buildings. When you get to the last point, you right click, not left click. Then enter the attributes if you have them. If you don't have them, you click on OK. And then the column, attribute column will be blank, and you can put the attributes later on in the future. So basically, this is how to digitize polygon feature. So if you are done with the digitizing, what you need to do is to click on Save Edit. Save Edit just beside the toggle edit dialog box, beside the toggle edit icon, sorry. Or you can go to your layer menu and then select Save Edit to save your editing. So if you are satisfied with your editing, with your digitizing, you can now exit the toggle edit by clicking on it to exit the toggle editing. So basically, this is how to digitize polygon feature. So now let me quickly show you how to digitize line feature and maybe point feature. So we have some point features here in the form of trees. This is a farmland now, and then we have some trees within it. So you make sure you select the trees shapefile layer from the layer panel, and then you click on toggle edit. You can get your toggle edit from your layer menu, toggle edit. So after enabling the toggle edit, you will see that a pencil-like icon will appear on top of the layer. Then you can now add feature by clicking on this button, or when you come to edit, you select add feature. So since these are point shapefile, this is a point shapefile, so we are deciding point feature. You just click once at the center of the point, and then you'll be prompted with the attributes dialog box to input the attributes for this tree. So you can type in the ID number, the age of the tree. Let's say the age of the tree is 20 years, and then the height of the tree, let's assume the height is, let's assume is 2 meters. Then you click on OK, and then you see a point will appear here just like that. So click and then enter attributes. Age of this tree, let's assume is 13. Then the height is 3 meters. Click on OK. 3 for the ID. Age of the tree is 10 years old. Then the height is 1 meter. 4. Age is 19 years old. The height of the tree is 4 meters. So this is how to digitize a point feature. You click at the center, and then you enter in the attributes. Then you click on OK. Just like this. So if you don't have the attribute at hand, you can ignore the attribute dialog option by clicking on OK and leaving it blank. Whenever you want to add more attributes, you can surely do that. I will show you how to add more attributes very soon. You can actually use the enter button on your keyboard. Instead of pressing OK all the time, you simply hit the enter button on your keyboard. Just like this. So this is how to digitize point feature. Digitizing a point feature is simpler than digitizing a polygon feature. So you click once on the feature, and then you enter the attribute information, and then you click on OK. So now let's digitize a line feature. This time around we have a stream somewhere here, and then we also have a street. So but we don't have a layer for the stream, but we have layer for street. So let me use the street to digitize this particular street, and then I'm going to create a layer for stream and river to digitize those features in the future. So now before we start digitizing the streets, let's save edit for the trees layer that we have digitized. So go click on save edit, and then click on toggle edit to exit the edit mode. So now let's digitize these two streets. Select the streets layer, click on toggle edit, then click on add feature, and then click along the path of your feature. Since it's a line feature, you follow the line feature to the end. So the road terminates somewhere here. So when you get to the end, instead of left clicking, you are going to right click. When you right click, the attribute table will come out as usual, and then you enter in the attribute information just like this. So you enter, if you have the attribute of this street we are digitizing, you enter it. The ID is 1. Then the location, let's say the location of the street is at Angwambiri. You type it just like that. Then the street name, let's assume you know the name of this street. Let's assume the name is Abuja Street. Then the street distance on ground. Let's assume you know the distance on ground is 200 meters. So you type it just like that, and then you click on OK. So another street is here. Let's digitize it. So you click along the part of this linear feature until you get to the end. Then you right click to terminate. So you enter the attribute if you have it at hand, as usual. Then you click on OK. So here's another street. You click around the part. When you get to the end, you right click to terminate. So if you are done with your digitizing of the street, you save the edit and then you exit the toggle edit. So we now have our street. If I minimize the raster data, you will see our digitized layers, just like that. This is the building layer. You see that the building layer, they are covering the building we have on the raster. And then if you zoom to the trace layer, the same thing. So we have the trees here. You can see the points are representing the location of the trees on our raster. So basically, this is how to digitize point, line, and polygon features. So if you have not forgotten, I said we are going to digitize, we are going to create a shapefile layer for streets and for stream and river. So let's quickly do that. So we have a stream here, and then we have this river, and we have another river here. So let's create a shapefile layer for these two features. So remember, to create a shapefile, you simply go to your layer menu, then new shapefile, and then from the option, the shapefile we want to create is for stream and for river, and both of the, for stream is a line feature. So you select line for the type, then for the coordinate, you select the correct coordinate system, UTM, so that's 2 degrees north, because that's where our project is located. And then you add the attribute for the street, for the stream. Maybe the name of the stream is going to be text data. Click on add. Then maybe the location of the stream is a text data also. You add it. If you have more attributes, you add them to the attribute list. If you are done, you click on OK to save your attributes, to save your shapefile. Then navigate to the location where we have our project folder on our hard drive, C drive. Open the project folder, open the vectors folder, then the natural shapefile. Then now let's save our shapefile, which is stream. Then click on save, and then you see that we now have another layer called stream on our layer panel. So now let me zoom close to position of the stream, and then let's digitize that particular stream. So here is a stream. We are going to digitize this stream using the stream shapefile layer. So select it, toggle edit, then add feature, then click along the path of the stream. Until you get to the very end, just like this. So you can zoom in closely to be able to digitize the feature accurately. So when you get to the end, you right click and enter in the attribute data for the stream and click on OK. Then you can now save the edit and then exit the toggle edit to have the stream digitized just like this. So before I continue, I would like to draw your attention at this point that this particular save edit is not the same thing as saving project. Save project is not the same thing as save edit. The difference is that save edit will only save the changes you have made to your shapefiles, to your vector layers. That is save edit. While save project will save the changes made to the entire project. Everything you are seeing here is your project, while the changes made to this shapefile will only be saved using the save edit option. So basically, I'll show you how to digitize point features, polygon features, and line features. So this is how you go about digitizing different features on your raster. So now, let me open the attribute table for you to see what the attribute table look like for each of the shapefile layers. So let me start with the tree. Right click and then select open attribute table, and then you will see the content of the attribute table just like this. So if you can remember, for the first 4 data, we have added the attribute data onto it, which includes the ID, the tree age, and then the tree height, just like this. And then for the remaining, we ignore them just because we don't have the data at hand. So in the subsequent video, I'm going to show you how to add attribute data to your attribute table. If you open up the attribute table for the stream, you see that we have just 1 data and we have not added anything so far. So for the building too, if you open up the attribute table for the building, you will see the number of buildings we have digitized. And if you have not forgotten, we added just 2 data, which has the building name Mr. Samson and then Malantanku, just like this. The first is residential, the second is commercial. So if hadn't been, we have added the remaining ones. You also see them appearing just like this, just like the first 2. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how to add or edit your attribute table. So for the street, it's also the same thing. You see the attribute table. So let's continue by digitizing the building layer. So I will zoom to the building, select the building, and then on my toggle editing, and then add feature. So I'll click around individual building. At the end of the building, I will right click, and then if I have the attribute data, I will enter it and then press OK on my keyboard. So for now, I will assume that I don't have the attribute data. So I'm going to digitize and then press enter on my keyboard to continue, just like this. So gradually you will get faster and you should be able to digitize hundreds of features within a few minutes. So please take note of something. If you make a mistake, for example like this, I'm going to commit an intentional mistake here. Let's assume I mistakenly digitize this as this. Instead of coming here, I went diagonally and I made a mistake. So I can simply press cancel to remove it. When you press cancel, it will remove it, and then you can digitize it again just like this. So I'm going to minimize my camera and then digitize the entire feature on our raster. And when I'm done, I'll come back and show you the results. So with this, I hope you have gotten the concept of digitizing the raster data in Quantum GIS. And remember, if you are digitizing, what you are simply doing is vectorizing, because you are simply converting your raster into a vector, just as you can see. So I will see you on the other side.
Welcome back after long hours of digitizing work. I'm about to round up my digitizing process. Just as you can see, we have done virtually every conversion of raster into vector. Oops, I can see one feature. I think this line is a stream. It has not been digitized, so let me quickly digitize it. So I'll go to my stream layer, right click on it, on the toggle edit, then add feature. I'll palm to the beginning of the stream, which is somewhere here. It's linking to this particular river, which has been digitized using this line. So this is the beginning of the stream. Let me quickly digitize it to the end. So this time around I'm using line because my stream shapefile layer is a line layer. So I'm going to trace this stream from the beginning to the end. So note that what we are doing here is simply the basic digitizing. I'm ignoring all other aspects of the advanced digitizing, which has to do with symbology. So what I'm trying to explain here is that, click on OK, is that I'm not taking note of how my features are overlapping each other. On a very good day, a stream is not supposed to cross a road, just as it is here. So, but I'm ignoring that because this is a basic class, and all we're after here is to learn how to digitize first. Later on, we are going to learn how to use the advanced digitizing feature to take care of crossing overlapping features, and so also the undershot, overshot, loops, and other errors in digitizing will also be taken care of in the advanced class. This is just a basic class. So we can see here that we have an undershot. This street is supposed to touch this street exactly. Let me zoom closely so that you will see what I'm talking about. So this street is supposed to touch here. So as it is not touching it now, it is called undershot. So also this one is supposed to touch, intersect at this point exactly. So we have an arrow there called undershot. And where you have the street crossing over the other one is called overshot. So all these are errors that could be avoided. So I want to see more of that in the advanced class. So we have virtually digitized all features of interest on our raster layer. And basically this is what is meant by digitizing. Let me zoom to the building layer and let's see how our entire feature is. So this is the entire raster which has been digitized. Let me toggle off the toggle edit. Yes, save edit. So also for the stream, save edit, then toggle it off. So this is our digitized raster. So all features of interest has been digitized, and I hope you understood the concept of digitizing at this point. So I think we have some couple of buildings here that have not been digitized. Let me quickly digitize them. 1, 2, 3. So let me quickly go back to the building layer, select it, and then on the toggle edit, then click on add feature, then digitize them as usual. Click around the building. At the end, at the last point, you right click, then click on OK. The same thing for this. The same thing for this. So basically, this is how to go about digitizing your raster. Click around and then you click on OK. If you have the attribute data at hand, you can enter the attribute. But this time around, we are ignoring the attribute data. That's why we have to click on OK after going around the feature without entering the attribute information. That's the ID, the name, the size, and the purpose. You just go ahead and click on OK. We have some couple of buildings here that have not been digitized. So I go ahead and digitize them, just as usual. So this is how to go about digitizing a raster feature in Quantum GIS. If you are done with your digitizing, you can save edit and then exit the toggle edit. So let me quickly tell you that apart from accessing your toggle edit, save edit, add feature on the tools bar, you can also use the menu to access them. For example, let me use the menu bar to access my toggle edit and use it to digitize this crop of buildings here. So with my building layer selected, I'll go to the layer menu and then I'll click on toggle edit. So the toggle edit could be accessed from the layer menu. If you don't want to access it from the tools bar, you can access it from the layer menu. Just in case if your tools bar is missing, you can use the layer menu to access the toggle edit. So after which you can now go back to the edit menu and then select add feature. So add feature is found under edit menu. You can also find it here. If it's not here, you can go to your edit menu and then add feature. So you can now go back to your raster and then continue your digitizing process, just like this. So this is one way to access your digitizing tools. If you don't want to use the tools bar, you can always use the menu bar, just as I have done. So that is how to go about it. Let me ask you to guess how long it took me to digitize this particular raster. Did you say 1 hour or 10 hours or 100 hours? Well, it's up to you. I will not tell you the exact hours it took me, but I want to assure you that it took me a longer time to get it done. So don't get freaked by the length of this video. The length of this video is less than 1 hour, and this work was actually done far more than 1 hour. So if I'm done with my building, I can exit the toggle edit. So this time around, I'm going to use the menu to save the edit and then exit the toggle edit. So with the building layer selected, I'll go back to my layer menu, save edit. Then I'll go back. You can see the pencil sign is still there. So I'll go back to my layer menu and then off the toggle edit by clicking on it again. So the layer has disappeared. The pencil icon has disappeared, which signifies that our layer is not under the toggle edit mode. The toggle editing mode is now off. So now, if you take a look at my layer panel, you will notice that I've actually created some new layer and then I've made some changes before now. So you can actually create layers at any point in time during your digitizing process. You must not create your layer from the beginning of your digitizing. At any point you can create more layer. I've added minor roads and major roads layer, just like that. So, and before I end this video at this point, I would also like to inform you that just before I finish this tutorial series, a new version of Quantum GIS was released. Presently, I'm using Quantum GIS version 1.8 Lisbon. So a newer version has been released, which is version 2.0. So maybe in the subsequent video, we're going to take a look at that version. But for now, I'm going to stop this video here, and I advise you to replay the video to get acquainted with the concept of digitizing a raster data in Quantum GIS. And in the next video, we're also going to talk about the attribute data. Adding attribute data. We're going to talk more about this attribute data, how to edit it, how to delete column, how to add more columns, and so on. So hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.